Well, I have long had this persistent issue of not having a sufficiently large brush rest, because although I have this one, which is cast iron and it's neatly heavy, this can only hold a single brush, like that. And it is fine if I'm practicing on my own at home, perhaps. However, on cultural events and such, I often have to use a smaller brush, and for signatures and annotations, an even smaller brush. And that becomes an issue, because I have to stand these across one another, but then I'm unable to use the one that's at the bottom. If I prop them against the inkstone, like that, then they usually tend to just roll off and ink everything in black. So this is an issue I have to solve. And to be honest, I have had quite a few attempts on making these. This is a budget option. This is an antiperspirant deodorant, the inside cap, with the slight modification of cutting into the plastic. It has an arch enough to hold brushes. Even if you don't put it down centered, it nicely centers the brush. Smaller ones, larger ones. I have loved these, and I made a few. So now I am actually able to stand these like this. But let's admit, these are not the most presentable props for your calligraphic events. Therefore, I have been thinking about something presentable, something more presentable than these. And the idea I came up with is a bunch of nuts. And my plan is to weld these together, because if you Google brush rest on the internet, then you will find that brush rests are usually a mountain-shaped ceramic pieces of small sculptures like this. Sometimes they are even wider to accommodate up to 4 brushes. But I'm not a really big fan of ceramics, at least not for brush rests. And these always come in white, which just do not match with my other props. For example, my paperweight is in this nice greenish, bluish, rather greenish color. So I thought, and this I painted myself, so I thought that I would just weld these together into a brush rest shape like this, which could accommodate all 3 brushes, and paint them to the same nice bluish greenish color. Let's try this.
The monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought it was all in good fun.
Well, this is how it came together in the end. And I pretty much like how solidly I managed to weld them together. So the joint is pretty okay. However, when removing the burrs and giving it a lick with the angle grinder, well, the surface got roughed up a little bit. So I think I have no choice but to paint it. Here we can see that it's not that perfect. If I manage to get the focus on the surfaces, then you can see that it's pretty messed up. So I think we will paint it into this bluish greenish thingy. But only the outside. I'm gonna leave the threads inside as they are right now to give it a more diverse look. This will be my apparatus through which I'm convinced I should be able to paint it so that the external surfaces get some paint, but not the threads. So I will hold this by the handle like this and then paint it all over. And hopefully we won't get any paint inside. So this is it after one coat of paint, and it turned out quite nicely, I guess. As you can see, I left the threads out, and let's give it a second coat, because on the back side of the jar it says apply 2 thick coats, so I'm gonna comply. Well, this is how it turned out in the end. Now it's completely dry. We can see that the threads are left empty. And now we have 3 slots for the brushes. Small one, medium one, and the larger one. Like that. Not bad actually. I'm quite satisfied with how it came out. Well, if you think my new brush rest is kinda cool, then don't hesitate but smash the crap out of that like button. And of course, thanks for watching. See you next time.